I've had the awesome opportunity in my life to be able to be raised in a world where hide tanning and drum making and things were a normal part of my life. And I thought it was very important for the young people, especially at the college, that may have not always had that opportunity in their life, to be able to participate in that.
Indigenous culture is important in education. It's really like more of a binding with our past selves. It was kind of nice to touch back on those roots that I've kind of lost, and I've never done anything like that before.
I want to learn my culture. I want to know these things because it's a way of life. It's the way we've lived how many thousands of years. No one ever taught me that when I was growing up.
It's important for them to be able to interconnect with those teachings and bring them back into the college, because of course that was a really important piece when you're looking at land-based and authentic Indigenous education.
We can't forget that as a people that we had our own ways of teaching our children that were just as effective as what we're trying to do today. So when we think about land-based education, it's really taking into account what was here prior, as well as staying connected to our roots. And as Indigenous people, we're very connected to geography and to place-based learnings.
I think it's very important that we educate the entire person, and a lot of learning to be a person who has a skill and can contribute to their community is knowing who you are and where you came from. This was part of their history, and of course it's part of all of our histories going back thousands of years. And to be back in touch with that in a very hands-on way, to be taught the traditional ways, for me it was very meaningful, and I'm sure it was for the students as well.
When people can understand and value the skill and strength, they can bring that into their own lives and really build a better understanding of this art and the cultural value it has. It's a very sophisticated approach to working with those wildlife. We bring it back to the state of that living animal so that that hide is flexible and very strong at the same time. We scrape those hides, put them in the smoke, put that grease and brains into the skin, let it soak in. We warm up those skins. It breaks down the glue that holds the skin together, that makes it want to stiffen. And then by stretching it and scraping it some more, it's the process of allowing or getting the skin to return to that pliable, soft, strong state. And then once it's all soft leather, then we can smoke it again, and the smoke puts the color and the cure into it. So it's not an easy art to practice, because we're always working with the individual, and we have to pay attention to each hide and work with what it brings us.
Red River College, really, to facilitate young people coming back into touch with their traditions, I think is a very powerful thing, and we want to be that kind of institution.
I'm really happy with the work that's being done here at the college and with staff that are taking initiative to ensure that our students had the opportunity to engage in some of those traditional practices, whether it's tanning hides, stretching hides, drum making, learning songs, learning about ceremony. Those things are really important to identity and to well-being, and so they're making those learning experiences very rich and very authentic, and we're bringing the best of what we have as Indigenous peoples to learning and combining that with Western ways of learning, and really that's what we should be trying to achieve with Indigenous education.